whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen.
And it's separated purposely, and the people whom thou hast chosen. Okay?
Okay,
all this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sake.
You made us the world for our sakes. How do you know that? Because he who gave the world, is that in Galatians? Who he gave the world, said he would be a joint heir with us. And he comes out of the same tribes as us, and the same forefather as us. Alright? Yeah.
As for the other people, which also come of Adam, thou hast said they are nothing, but be like unto spittle, and hast likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a bucket, a vessel. Like.
Nobody's worried about, you got a bucket of anything, let's say water, right? You got to carry it somewhere, you're doing something, a little bit splash out. You ain't worried about the splash, man. Don't fuck around and drop the whole bucket, the whole vessel full of it, worried about the splash. You ain't worried about that, man. I just, okay, let's don't splash no more though. That's all you're concerned about, what's still in the bucket. And we're the bucket, man. We're what's inside the bucket. The heathen or the party don't care about. About to say it, be like unto spittle, right?
You said you call them in Isaiah 40 and 17 that they're like the dust of the balance.
Yeah.
You put a scale, a balance scale, and you just throw a little speck of dirt on it, that shit ain't gonna move.
Right.
It's insignificant.
Yeah.
You know, that's how the Lord sees these other nations, man. They're really insignificant, but they do play a major role in the Most High's purpose.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
They're necessary evils to the movie. You gotta have what they call them supporting cast.
Yeah,
you gotta have supporting cast. Like Ishmael getting fucked up over there. That's their supporting cast role, is to get fucked up over there. I mean, but they was getting benefits before that. They was living in the land.
Yeah.
They got, they Temple Mount. They got Mecca over there. They got, they got their little shit going on. They sitting on the oil.
Yeah.
They had all that.
Yeah.
Ishmael got blessed too.
Yeah.
You know?
A lot of them are still blessed somewhat. It's just that certain sect is getting fucked up.
Yeah, them.
All them in the surrounding area is them.
Right. Yeah.
They're getting fucked up in there though.
Yeah.
And that's why these other nations, we were talking about, these other nations are starting to step up now, because they know as soon as they're already done wiped them people out. I don't know if you know this or not, if it's evident or not. That Gaza area, that they got that's done.
Yeah.
No, you can't turn that back. It needs to be done anyway. But now they know that they're going to start moving to that surrounding area and take that whole region as best they can. That's the next move, and the nations see it.
That's why.
We went over there and cleared that out. Now they're going to try to take the rest of the chessboard over there.
Yep. That's why more of those countries are talking about they finna get involved.
Yeah, they better.
They're not finna just allow them to just do that.
Just like
You're not finna you're not finna just kill these people off and then think you're finna just leave that area and then just start steamrolling everybody all throughout the region.
That's what they're gonna do.
That's what they're gonna try to do, with hoping that America's gonna fully back them.
Yeah.
And that's when the wild man is gonna turn up and activating them. All right, and also with the Carmanians. All right, the Persians. That's not a good that's not a good picture right there. That's a dangerous goal right there.
Those Ishmaelites, they're not punks.
They don't know.
You know? They're ready for war.
there's nothing better that they can think of to do but to die for their God.
Yeah.
To fulfill their God's mission.
Yeah. And they see America and Israelis over there as Satan.
Yeah.
That's their Satan.
Yeah.
Which they're right.
Yeah.
The
They are.
devil, you know?
Yeah. That's their adversary.
Yeah.
Putting it in that term. Yeah.
They're each other's Satan.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. But we already kind of, the last thing they're worried about is Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. But they are worried about the men of the Lord that's out there teaching, the people that's actually waking up. They're concerned, but as a whole nation, they ain't sweating. But they still dealing with them whole nations. Cause look, like the lady that ran into the school, right?
Yep.
ISCK school, she just in America somewhere, but she felt she had to do something
Yeah.
somewhere. We don't have that in our people.
Yeah,
Do my part, something. I gotta do something.
she was devoted.
She's still connected to her people.
Okay.
You can't get Jake to go to a family party without some shit popping on.
Okay.
Jake ain't got each other back like that.
Nah.
So they ain't worried about Jake in general. Okay? We're the only ones that look like, talking about the men of the Lord and those that believe and are waking up. We're the only ones that really look like we might be able to pull something off from unity. And we know that that ain't even really inside the larger scheme of Israel. That ain't even something that's, that can happen as well. So you got it.
Back to 2nd Ezra 6 and 50, 57. And now, O Lord, behold, these heathen, which have ever been reputed as nothing, have begun to be lords over us and to devour us. So we, thy people, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, thy only begotten, and thy fervent lover, are given into their hand. If the world now be made for our sakes, why do we not possess an inheritance with the world? How long shall this endure?
How long shall this endure? Well, there's a bound that shall not, that this shouldn't go past. The Most High has bounds, but only He knows when that bound is. Okay, so this thing is only going to go for so long, and then once it get to that point, that's it. You're going to set it back right. And that's, when I heard this truth the first time, that's like, oh, that's what we need. You try to figure out what is that I need. Okay, I need more people that I can work with. You know, then you start thinking about your friends, like, man, that shit ain't gonna work. Then you start thinking, man, if everybody was just on the same page, well, the Most High is about to put our whole nation back on the same page, starting with the elect first. Okay?
And that last verse just made me think about it. He said, how long must this endure? Al-Shai told the disciples that our land was going to be trodden down of the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. But we would be led among all nations captive.
Yep.
So that means that we weren't going to have an inheritance until the end of the Gentiles, which would really be the end of Esau's world. When the Lord destroys Esau's kingdom, that's when we're going to inherit again.
Think about it. Esau is the last Gentile to rule.
Yep.
So all of them had their chance to rule over us already. Had their chance of dominating the world. They may not have conquered the whole world, but the known world, they did pretty good at it. Don't act like all the nations had their chance. I mean, they all did it. They all were over us. It's in the scriptures. Some were only 70 years, some 40 years, some hundreds of years. Okay? But this is the last one. He got a healthy dose of, think about how long he has actually ruled. Greece, Romans, then he went down for a little while, then he came back into the now.
Yeah.
You know, so he got a healthy dose of rulership.
Okay.
Dominion, this is some cold. It wasn't bad, Isaac. Well, I can't say bad, but you know, they got something solid. All right? But it's coming to an end. That was it on that, right? Let's get that in Romans.
It's Romans 9 and chapter 9, verse 1. I say the truth in Hamashiach, I lie not. My conscience also bearing me witness in the Holy Spirit, that I have great heaviness and continual sorrow in my heart. For I wish that myself were accursed from Hamashiach.
Well, I don't understand. How do you confuse yourself when you read the writings of Paul?
Well,
Why do you try to, like, what's so complicated about what he was saying in his epistles? He was simply sending his epistles to scattered Israelites, to remind them of the covenant that the Lord made with their fathers, even though they were being called foreigners, Gentiles, because they were once in the Gentile state of mind, coming back, returning, converting back to their heritage. What was so hard to understand about that? Why do we need to?
And he still talks to them like they're Israelites.
Right. Where do all these Christians from all over the world coming from? When did this open up to all these other nations all of a sudden?
He went through Israelite history that only Israelites would know about.
Right.
Exactly.
You know, he was naming names that a heathen's not going to know about. Abraham and Isaac and the prophets. Only an Israelite, because those prophecies, the scriptures, the laws were passed down generation within our nation. So like you guys.
I got one verse. 2 Corinthians, Greece, right?
Yep.
2 Corinthians 11:22. Are they Hebrews?
Yep.
So am I.
Spirit.
Are they Israelites? So am I. Are they the seed of Abraham? So am I.
Come on, man. Paul was he was crystal clear. You know, it was nothing really too hard or difficult to understand. It's just you're just having you're having a hard time grasping what was being said because the Spirit just is not with you. You don't have that unction. But it's clear to see what Apostle he's literally reiterating what was in the Old Testament. But a lot of Christians, they get lost in the sauce and they try to separate Apostle Paul as if he contradicted, you know. But he was constantly quoting out of the law and the prophets. He constantly held the position that, hey, I believe firmly the things that were written out of the law of Moses, you know, out of the law, out of the Psalms, you know, out of the prophets.
Yep.
He believed everything written in it. So it's not hard. Like when you go to Corinthians, and I think in the 10th chapter, he tells them, "Don't you know how our fathers were under the cloud?"
Mm-hmm.
Why would he tell a bunch of heathens that?
Right.
That know nothing about the history.
Yeah.
Cloud, what are you talking about?
They were the only ones out.
Yeah.
I got it right quick. First Corinthians chapter 10 verse 1. Moreover, brethren, he called them brothers. Right? He says, I would not that ye should be ignorant how that all our fathers were
All
under
our fathers.
the cloud and all passed through the sea.
He said, "All our fathers."
Yeah, preach it.
And all were baptized unto Moses in the cloud and in the sea.
He's going back over Israelite history.
And all did eat the same spiritual meat.
Hey, you're not gonna be an Edomite and go up into an all-black history class. You're gonna be like, this ain't got shit to do with me. This ain't got nothing to do with my history, my ancestors. Why am I learning? What does this have to do with me?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Just like, but when they conquered us, we had to learn their bullshit, learn their history, and they can dictate what they want with their history.
Take certain things out, put certain
They
things
can omit
in.
certain shit. They can
Yeah.
lie about certain shit.
They try to say you Jakes were indentured servants.
Yeah,
All that.
All that shit. Slavery was
They'll say that, oh,
choice.
we were the inventors of this, and
Yeah.
you know, we civilized the world, and we did this and we did that. Shakespeare was white. You know,
all of
Beethoven, Mozart was an Edomite.
They say,
Matter
The
of
Lord
fact-
was an
yeah,
Edomite.
the Lord,
Matter of
yeah.
fact,
The angels
God-
was
God is
white. The Most High.
See?
You have to learn all this
They would
bullshit.
say 100 years from now, they would say that Jordan was white.
Yeah. I think I told y'all this before. My dad got remarried after my mom or whatever. And she had some sons from a previous man. They were white or whatever. Supposed to be, they were white. And this is like 2000, so Michael Jackson already light skinned. And so we're watching like one of his music videos, like a new one or whatever, with Ghost or something. And she said, and his mom says, wow, who would have thought a little poor black kid from Gary, Indiana would make it to this status, right? Her kids both in unison just said, wait, Michael Jackson's black? And it's funny, but
Dang.
that shows you how time, if you don't know, how would you know?
Yeah.
If they're not passing it down to you, how would you know?
Well, that's a part of their new world order is killing off a whole generation that do know these things,
Yep.
or the older people that can pass down these, just history,
Yeah.
history to the younger generations. So they kill them off and kill off a bunch of more people. Ain't nobody gonna know which is which, who is who.
And
These little niggas nowadays ain't trying to learn shit.
Nah,
so
hell
it
no.
don't even matter.
So and they not teaching in the schools no more. They're not teaching black history, the slavery part of it. You know, they pick up that we was just working in the fields, and this is how it goes.
We just had a bad time.
Yeah.
You know, it was bad people
Right.
during. It
We
was
just
bad
gotta
people
buckle
during
down
that
and-
time.
Yeah,
The
like
same fucking,
bootstrap.
same.
But hey, y'all benefited from saying
Yeah.
Remember?
Yep.
We taught y'all